numbers versus chemistry. This is a big conversation to have with leadership. Because I've learned this business-wise from it. When I was working with those starting out, I worked with a lovely lady named Stephanie. And I was saying, oh, we have a big track coming. It's going to be cool. We're going to have all these kids. And it's going to be great. She goes, it's not going to be that much fun. I go, it's a rough track for us. The numbers are good, but the chemistry's bad. And I didn't get it until I worked all 4 tracks. And I think this really applies over for ministry, in that you can have a large ministry and it looks good on paper, but have horrible chemistry. Because when you have a youth ministry that has about 100, 200 people in it, there are more problems. It's like who's that rapper? Biggie Smalls. What's his real name? He did the song "More Money, More Problems." When you have more kids, you have more problems. And that while you're teaching the 100 kids, you're teaching 90 of them, but 10 of them are in the bathroom dealing pop. More things come into play when there's more numbers, as opposed to when you hit chemistry of a group that understands each other. My example is this. I have a group that comes, my track 3 group is 3 students that I take out and I'm about to get them to go out. I cannot turn my back on them. I cannot let them run. They have to stay in front of me and be with them. My track 4 is about 40 students, and I will walk out of the room and across the hall with them, because I know they're going to be good and do whatever I say. Same thing applies for youth ministry. We can have huge numbers, and it looks good on paper for everybody to see, but the chemistry in there, people moving toward discipleship or being who they want to be. That's the reason I always ask folks here and ask folks in other ways, is that we've got to figure out a new way to evaluate what good youth ministry looks like and find a way to communicate it. Because right now, technically, what keeps us in our jobs is numbers. And it's a very poor judge of what it is. As you see up here, I think what says this is for us. The average youth group is 10% the size of the worshiping congregation of the church. That's the number that youth ministry architects use. If you talk to people like Stephanie Cairo and Mark Ostreicher, they will tell you, this made me so happy to hear this for a lot of people, is that if you look all the way across America, the average youth group size is 25. And that's everywhere. What happens is everybody looks at these mega churches and thinks this is what things has got to be like, and you've got to have this much numbers. I had a lady come to me after one of our sessions talking. She was really in tears, and she was upset because her pastor had said, if you don't double your numbers, you're out of here in the next couple of months. And my question was, okay, well, how many kids do you have? She goes, I have 10. It's really great. We're really growing. And he says, if I don't have 20 by the end of next year, I'm fine. I go, how many people attend your church? He goes, 60. And I go, you win. You're ahead of him. Because you have 60 people. I mean, technically by the numbers, you should have 6 kids in your youth group. You already have 10 and you're already looking to grow. Just because you aren't moving at the pace, I said, somebody needs to have the DS call that person and say, by the way, you got a youth worker that's out working you. And you need to move along.